Hi, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. Yourself?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. I was interested in knowing last year you guys had more of a veteran front line and you came in and you were I guess you missed the first game anyway. What's it been like kind of reversing roles now that you are the experienced player and how are you interacting with the defensive line where there's a lot of new faces?
Yeah, the guys they're doing really good up front. You know, they're really good keeping guys off of us and getting to the quarterback. And like you said, we had some veteran guys up there last year that did a very good job. And now moving into spring ball, some young guys, it's next man in. Everyone's got an opportunity, and take it each day and just keep improving. And they've done a really good job of that so far.
Seth, the next question is from Chad Leistico.
Hi, Seth. Great to talk to you.
Hey.
So obviously you and Jack had a rotational relationship last season. It looks like you guys are pretty comfortable side by side now. How has that, I guess, transformed? And do you feel pretty darn comfortable with each other right now on the field?
Yeah, it's been super fun playing with Jack. He's really, really detail oriented, high motor, fun guy to play next to. And we're just trying to, take control and put people in positions so they can make plays and we can make plays. It's been fun.
What do you guys feel like you do well? How do you, what are your strengths versus his strengths, and how do you kind of work off those?
Yeah, I think it's just communication is the biggest thing. And then once something happens, coming to the sideline and he tells me what he sees, and then I'll tell him what I see. And we can kind of put that together, and then repetition after repetition. I can kind of think, what Jack sees here, and he knows what I'm seeing here. And like I said before, it just helps put the D-line in positions to make plays. It helps us make plays and in the back end as well.
Seth, the next question is from Scott Dockerman.
Yeah, how did last year's experience really help you be able to kind of take command of the huddle, and what do you think you took away from that experience last year?
Yeah, I think it just each and every day, with every opportunity you're given to go out there, each and every rep you learn something, and given the opportunity to do that, it just helps you now into spring ball. Now you do the same thing each and every rep. Take something to learn from it, and over time, that's just going to help you be more confident, and then you can help other guys come along, and they just see the confidence in you, and then they can increase their confidence in what you're telling them, and they can play fast. And overall, it just helps everyone.
The next question from Tom Kakert.
Seth, have you and Jack been flip-flopping at all from position to position? I know you guys do a lot of that, or at least did a lot of that. Are you doing that now and still, how does this feel like middle is permanent now for you, or is outside still a possibility?
Yeah, I mean, Coach Wallace he tells us to rotate just so he can, put us in uncomfortable situations so we can learn from it. So we'll just rotate positions so then everyone can get experience everything. And like it puts us in situations that make us uncomfortable so we can continue to learn, just so we have a better understanding of everything and continue to improve.
The next question, Seth, is from Rick Brown.
Seth, how does having spring ball help propel your game now? Yeah, I know you went onto the field last year without the benefit of spring ball. How has that helped?
Yeah, I had spring ball my first year I was here, and last year spring ball got canceled. But spring ball is a time of learning. It's a time of fundamentals. It's a time of pushing things forward, and just you got to learn each and every day. You never got it, and it's been good just to detail things and just go out there and control what you can control and just give it your all.
The next question from Scott Dockerman.
Yeah, Seth, how did your background kind of help you get to where you are as a player? You were kind of a late flip, I guess, from South Dakota State to Iowa, and you were able, I think you were kind of in the pecking order where LeVar kind of came to you later on and gave you the scholarship opportunity. How did that experience, and then coming to Iowa, how did that shape you into the player that you are today?
Yeah, I think it just makes you, blessed for the opportunities you're given. And, I want to uphold that each and every day and improve. And I think it puts a little chip on your shoulder that you just got to be the most fundamentally sound guy, the highest motor. And I just think it just pushes you every day. Just to continue to get better, continue to prove yourself, and it just pushes you.
I want to ask you, what are the collisions like with Monty Pottebaum?
They're pretty good, yeah. Monty is from Larchwood, so when we go back on breaks, it's about 15 minutes from my place. We'll work out together. He's my roommate, so it's just man versus man, and it's fun.
Who has better hair?
Oh man, I don't know. You can ask him that question, see what he says.
Is that the next?
Hopefully he says him, because I cut his hair. So
win-win. And the next question is from Chad Leistico.
Hey, I was just curious. So there's a couple plays the other day where you and John Waggoner seemed like were racing to Tyler Goodson in the backfield. Are you guys pretty close? I know you came in the same class, and what have you maybe seen working together with him now, as Iowa needs help on the D-line?
Yeah, John's a super, super nice guy. Very good football player. Very personal. And yeah, like you said, we were in the dorms together freshman summer, Peterson. He's a guy that people gravitate towards, and just a guy you want to be around and talk to. He's a really good guy.
So you guys were roommates your freshman year?
No, we weren't roommates, but we were down the hall. Yeah, we're just down the hall from each other. So. Okay.
What have you seen in his development? Seems like I've heard his name quite a bit this spring.
Yeah, he's been doing very good. Very detail oriented. He's always trying to improve. And sometimes, he'll tell us what he sees with offensive linemen, and we can help put him into better positions, better alignments. And it's fun. It's fun seeing him continue to improve and make plays.
Seth, the next question is from Leah Van.
Hi, Seth. I was wondering how some of the younger players that just came to the program are doing, and then also how you're adjusting to losing two veterans like Nick and Barrington Wade.
Yeah, everyone's doing really well. It's just coming together as a group and pushing each other, pushing the young guys pushing us. It's just, overall development. Everyone's just really focused on improving daily and the fundamentals that come with spring ball. And losing guys, veteran leaders like Barrington and Nick, they were great guys, great leaders, pushed us each and every day. And now you just got to uphold that and hopefully do that the same way.
The next question, Seth, is from Tom Kakert.
Seth, those guys in front of you kind of try and keep you clean, and you mentioned a little bit about that. What have you seen from Shannon, Logan Jones, guys like that maybe we haven't seen a lot of so far?
Yeah, they're doing a great job. Shannon, like you said, Noah Shannon, Logan Jones, Louis Steck, YA, they're all doing a great job. I probably missed someone in there, but it just comes like winter program, everyone's getting bigger, stronger, and faster. And now you just got to translate to that field, and they've done a great job. And they're really helping us out as linebackers, and we appreciate that.
Any other questions for Seth Benson? All right, Seth, thanks for the insight. Thanks for your time this morning.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a good.
John, how are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I just wanted to ask you kind of about your journey. You dealt with some illnesses, some injuries in the past, and now you've kind of put yourself in that position of being a starter, the upperclassman leader. What's this been like for you from your days in West Des Moines to where you are today?
Yeah, like you said, I battled COVID in the middle of the season, so had to overcome some adversity, but, over the years, I've gotten a lot of reps, and I've learned a lot from the guys ahead of me. So, I'm just trying to keep taking each opportunity as it comes and keep getting better. So.
What can you say? What did you want to do as far as development goes, physical development? Was there something when you walked in the door you needed to do and you felt like in order to get yourself on the field? Was it just general strength or was it quickness? I'm sure all of it, but was there anything specific that you identified that you needed to be better at in order to be able to play and play a lot?
Yeah, so initially I think, you got to come in here and you got to get some weight on you. And then I think it took a little bit for me to be able to, grow into my body and in that new weight and be able to move around good. But I feel great where I'm at right now. And yeah, so quickness, like you said, that's a big, important thing. And I feel good where I'm at right now. So.
John, the next question is from Chad Leistico.
Hey, John, shout out to your mom and dad. They're our pediatricians. So.
Absolutely.
Noticed you had a big stick on Tyler the other day. How does a play like that happen? Is that kind of exciting to get, in front of the fans like that?
Yeah. So that play, we had a blitz on and I came through pretty much untouched. So I kind of just did my job, got to my gap, and there was a play to be made. So, my first instinct was to make sure T Good was all good and everything was all right. So it's good.
Yeah. I was just curious about the D line this year. How much opportunity is kind of seen in that room of so many new faces there, and how has that, I guess, competition been brewing this whole time, 10 practices in?
Yeah. So we've had a lot of opportunity with, especially the young guys, been getting a lot of reps, guys who maybe haven't gotten as many in the past. And it's a huge growing opportunity for a lot of those guys. I think we have more guys with this is their first spring practice than we do that guys have had that experience before. So, I've been trying to just be a leader for those guys and, just keep bringing them along,
John, the next question is from Tom Kakert.
Hey, John, hope you're doing well. How challenging, I guess might be the right word, has it been to be patient, to wait for this opportunity with guys in front of you? And what does it feel like to kind of be in this spot now where you're probably going to be a starter?
Yeah. I tried to look at those opportunities in the past as, opportunities to learn from guys that have done it before. So, I just took it each day, saw each day as an opportunity to get better. And that's what I'm going to continue to do. We've got, I think, 5 more opportunities. So just keep improving. That's the main goal here.
The next question, John, is from Scott Docterman.
By my count, I think since you've been there are 7 defensive linemen still either in the NFL or will be in the NFL, potentially 8. What have you taken away from them? And was there one in particular, whether it was like Matt Nelson or Anthony Nelson, that really kind of you looked up to when you got here and watched their development, maybe kind of bounced ideas off of, or provided you with some sort of discussion that helped you grow?
Yeah. Like you said, we've had a lot of guys that have done things the right way. Guys in particular, I think that group, my freshman year, so like Anthony, Matt, Parker, Sam, all those guys, I think they just, not only on the field, but off the field, they showed us how to do things, professionally in the right way. And then, AJ and Chauncey carried that on, and I learned a lot from those guys, just how to operate.
What have you learned as far as technique wise? Was there one that was kind of more of a technician than, say, the other ones in helping you kind of grow in that spot?
Yeah, I think Anthony Nelson, a big thing for him was always his hand placement. It was always just precise. And so that's how he could defeat blocks. So I always looked up to that and admired that and try to emulate that as much as I can.
John, the next question from Chad Leistico.
Do you feel, we always hear like defense may be ahead of the offense this time of year. Is that accurate? And why is that so?
I mean, I'm biased, but I mean, we just try to iron sharpens iron. So, you know, we try to beat up on those guys. They try to beat up on us. It's always a good competition. Each practice, some days the offense gets us, some days, you know, we're getting them. But I think we're in a good position right now.
How often do you really know like what's coming when it's just you guys against you guys, or does that come more in August?
Yeah. So for me, I've seen a lot of this. I think things start to slow down the way I can see them now, just because I've been practicing against these guys and against these calls a lot of the time. But, you know, I mean, a lot of times defense can call out some of the offense's plays and vice versa. So
The next question, John, is from Tom Kakert.
John, I'm kind of curious about some of the tackles that you're going against because it's different guys this year. What have you seen from some of those younger tackles and anybody standing out to you?
Yeah, so I've been going against – I'm on the left side, so I've been going against Nick DeYoung the majority of my reps. And, you know, he's a guy that really can come off the ball hard. And, yeah, I've been really impressed just with his speed off the ball and good pass sets. And then I know Plum's doing a great job on the other side too. So
The next question from Scott Docterman.
Yeah, speaking of tackles, you're kind of the latest in a line of defensive linemen that have gone against great tackles in practice and sometimes better than what you'll ever face in a game. So what were your takeaways from going against Tristan and Alaric and, you know, in practice? And how do you apply some of the lessons that probably were painful at times to what you do now on the field?
Yeah, freshman year, scout team, getting thrown in there against guys like Tristan and Alaric. It was a little overwhelming at sometimes, but, you know, in the long run, I think it got me a lot better. I think when you go against those guys in practice every day, you know that, you know, you're going to be prepared in the games.
The next question, John, is from Leah Van.
Hi, John. I wanted to ask about some of your teammates. Like, what do you learn from guys like Zach Van Valkenburg? And then I saw that Joe Evans was also kind of playing a little bit with you on Saturday on the other edge. So I was just wondering what he brings to the team.
Yeah, those guys are great. You know, we like to talk about what we're seeing out there, how we can help each other, you know, maybe give, you know, some hints or about looks that are going to be coming up. So, you know, I think us three work pretty well together and communicate well together. So
the next question from Tom Kakert.
John, I know maybe it was like 2 springs ago, something like that. There was some idea that maybe you might slide down, play tackle. Did that just not take with you? Did you kind of resist that? What happened there?
No, I mean, that was kind of just whatever we need to do, whatever the coaches need me to do, I'm available to do. I know all 4 positions of the defense. So, you know, whether it be on a passing down, go inside, you know, but yeah, I'm comfortable at the end right now, but whatever it takes. So.
John, the next question from Steve Batterson.
John, there's such a high level of expectation that accompanies playing the D line in Iowa, given the recent success. How do you deal with that as a player, and how does it set the bar?
Yeah, I mean, the bar is definitely high, and we want to carry that on. But at the end of the day, we say this all the time, we're building the 2021 defensive line, and, you know, we want to be as good as we can be as a unit. So, yeah, we just try to focus on improving each day, taking each opportunity as it comes.
Do you feel pressure because of the success in the past, collectively as a group?
I mean, I think there's definitely a healthy pressure just to, you know, be as good as we can be as a group. So, yeah.
Thanks.
John, we'll take one more question, and it will come from Scott Docterman.
Yeah, in the past, Chauncey slid inside and kind of like a NASCAR package or something like that. Because you have such versatility and you've played multiple positions, do you anticipate getting put in that spot as well sometimes? And then also, are there, you know, is somebody like a Deontay Craig or somebody who could step in and play like a pass rushing role if you need to?
Yeah, so I've had some experience in that package, sliding inside on pass downs. But yeah, I mean, we haven't gotten quite that far yet this spring, but and like you said, Deontay is a great pass rusher, and he's definitely got what it takes. But yeah, at this point, we've just we don't have that package in yet. So.
Okay, thank you.
All right, John, we thank you for taking your time this morning.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a nice day.
Yeah.
Noah, how are you this morning?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. It's always a huge jump for someone to go from kind of being a rotational tackle to 20, 25 snaps a game to almost doubling that. And it's obviously very competitive in the interior. How are you preparing yourself physically and mentally for what that challenge will be? Because you know how tough it is.
Well, going up against Shooter or Kyler Schott and Tyler Linderbaum every day, I feel like that's helped me a lot. I'm not sure if I'm going to see many better centers than, Tyler in the Big Ten. So, but yeah, I mean, I feel like going out to practice and practicing and competing against those type of guys every day really helps.
The next question, Noah, is from Chad Leistico.
How do you kind of measure progress in the spring? How do you know you're getting better? You're 2/3 of the way through drills right now. So how do you know how much better you are between practice 1 and practice 10?
Really it comes down to getting back into the film room and analyzing that and being the hardest critic you can on yourself and also on your teammates, because it comes first with self-accountability, and then that transfers over to, helping the younger guys too. So really just in the film room, giving myself an honest self-evaluation every day.
Yeah. What's been the feedback so far from Kelvin and Jay on the D-line?
Definitely improving every day. I mean, that's what I take with me to practice every day. Try to write down one thing in my notes and really focus on that for that day. And at the end of the day, when I'm able to turn on the tape, I critique myself, and also being able to have both Coach Bell and Coach Neiman also helps, getting to hear from 2 different voices with so much knowledge on the game.
Noah, the next question is from Leah Van.
Hi, Noah. I was just wondering what it was like to have Saturday's open practice. Like, what was that like for you as a player? Obviously it's been a while.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we miss the fans a lot. It's different being in Kinnick. Like, when you go out to Kinnick, it's usually full house. So, I mean, it was different, but I think it was also good for a lot of the younger guys on our team, or not on our team, but in the D-line room, hearing those checks and calls from the linebackers and safeties with fans in the stands and extra noise that's not usually there, that we don't have at the Kenyon practice field. So I felt like that was very nice.
The next question, Noah, is from Scott Docterman.
Yeah, over the years, talking to a lot of your, former teammates and beyond, they really talked about playing 2-gap defensive tackle is as difficult and physical as you can ever be. You have to be really disciplined and fundamentally sound, or you'll get crushed off the ball. Yeah. What was your welcome to Iowa learning moment, and how have you been able to improve fundamentally to where you can be the attacker rather than the pancake?
I would say my welcome to Iowa moment would have to be definitely my freshman year, going up against Ross Reynolds and Keegan Render on the scout team. I remember it was, I forget which week it was, but it was one of those bigger weeks where physicality played like a big part of the game. And I got rolled out of there on a double team at the 1 tech. And I was like, okay. I was like, all right, this is what it's like. So, but, I mean, we've had a lot of guys kind of set the standard, and, we just want to keep that going this year on the 2021 defensive line.
Noah, the next question is from Mike Halas.
Hi, Noah. Good morning.
Good morning.
I was interested what you said about the note-taking process you have. Could you go into detail about that?
Yeah. So basically, every morning before practice, Coach Bell gives us points of emphasis sheet. So it has, at the start, it usually has like an inspirational quote, and then it'll go into like what he feels we need to specifically work on. And then so after he's done going over that sheet, I'll write at the top kind of what I'm focusing on today in practice. So for today example, my thing I really wanted to focus on was separation and vision. So, you know, just going through each rep, making sure I was as long as I could be, and, you know, putting my eyes in my gap and in my secondary gap, making sure I had vision on the ball carrier.
Is this how you consider yourself? Are you sort of a written word person? Are you analytical? How would you describe yourself in your approach to the game and just in general?
When it comes to learning, I describe myself definitely as a visual learner, more like I want to see it happen and then I can replicate it. But yeah, but also, you know, I mean, I feel like as a football player, you got to be both visual and be able to take notes and stuff like that too, because they both play off of each other in a way.
Noah, the next question from Scott Docterman.
You know, over the years, there's been so many defensive tackles, and they all come in different shapes, sizes, and different types of skill levels. I mean, Davion was kind of a freak athletically. YA kind of seems to fit that too. He's still really young. You know, how would you kind of look at your teammates, and what are the strengths of, say, you know, the young guys like you, YA and Logan Jones, and how do they kind of compare with, you know, Cedric Lattimore or Davion or Jack Heflin in the past?
Yeah, I would say our young guys have a great motors, you know, just never giving up on the play, just always trying to fight and strain through blocks. And I would say that relates closely with the other guy. I mean, they learned it from somewhere. So they most likely that being the older guys, and the older guys take it from the other older guys that were here in the past. So it's just something that, you know, we try to bring in with each recruiting class, just implementing how physical you have to be to play defensive line in the Big Ten.
And how about yourself? Do you see, was there a certain player that you really looked up to that you decided, I like the way he plays, maybe I play similarly, and you kind of learned from him?
Yeah, there's a handful of guys, but one, I mean, it's kind of ironic. I really look at Budgeta. I mean, I feel like we had the same number and everything, but I feel like physically wise, like our genetics are kind of the same. You know, me being on the shorter side, not having the longest of arms, not being the fastest, but, you know, still being able to do what I need to do.
Great player.
Question from Tom Kakert.
Hey, Noah. You talked a little bit about going against Linderbaum every day. What is it like going against the best center in America, potentially? What is that kind of as a teaching tool, as a learning tool?
I mean, really, you got to come to practice on point every day. That's what I love about it, is that I have to be at my best every play, because I know Linderbaum is going at his best every play, and I know the technique that he brings with him every play. So it's just, I mean, I wake up in the morning and it almost feels like a game day to me, being able to go up against Linderbaum every day.
Noah, the next question from Leah Van.
Yeah, so we've heard multiple times now, this is like the second year in a row that the defensive line is really having to go through this overhaul of replacing a ton of experienced veterans. And I was wondering what it's like operating under that next man up mentality year after year. And yeah.
I mean, I think it's something that it's just a part of Iowa and how we're kind of built. You know, we always hear Coach Ferentz talk about next man in. We see it every year. Some like football comes with football comes with injuries. So, I mean, you got to be ready to step up. I mean, anybody could go down at any given moment. So I feel like that's Coach Ferentz gets us prepared for that in spring ball, fall camp. And I mean, guys are ready when their name's called.
Do you embrace that kind of pressure?
Yes, I do personally. Just wanting to, you know, let the coaches know that I'm always ready and available, no matter the circumstance. And I think it says a lot about you as a man and how you're able to overcome obstacles as they, come up and you don't see them coming.
Noah, the next question from Rick Brown.
No, going back to these notes you keep, do you save them and go back and review them? And do you have them all the way back your entire career?
No, I don't have them all the way back my entire career. It's something I just recently started doing this spring ball, was writing down kind of what I wanted to improve on a daily basis. It's really something KB wanted us to do, but I mean, I'm not sure if all the guys do it every day, but it's something I try to do every day because I feel like it does help.
Do you go back and review them through the course of practice?
Yeah, I do. So like some days I'll play film from, last week, or like say today I go on the iPad and I look at film from last Thursday. Well, I want to know what I was trying to improve on last Thursday. So I grab my point of emphasis sheet, look through it, and then analyze the film so far or so forth.
Noah, we're going to take two more questions before we let you go. And the first one is from Mike Halas.
Okay, I'm going to try and squeeze a couple in. Number one, a few days ago, you retweeted highlights of Tyrone Tracy. Now, a defensive player doing that for a wide receiver, I found interesting.
Yeah.
If you have any comments on that, I appreciate it. And secondly, just what can you tell us about Kelvin Bell?
Okay, so first, me and Tyrone, we were roommates my freshman year in the dorms at Peterson. Now we're still roommates to this day. So that's why I just have a lot of love for that guy and the way he plays the game. And then Coach Bell, I mean, I wouldn't be here without him, to be honest. Just the way not only he coaches you, but also how he's a mentor and someone that I can go to for anything. If I'm having a bad day or if I just got a good grade on a test or something, I could come to him and tell him. And he's really like another father figure here that I would look up to.
The final question, Noah, is from Scott Docterman.
Yeah, good stuff on Kelvin there. Wanted to ask you about some of the guys you go against every day and have for a few years. Shooters kind of built like you and, kind of like a tree stump in some ways. And but guys like Cody Ince, who's been out this spring, or, Mason Richmond, Justin Britt, who's also out. What are they like, and how good are they going to be when they go up against other teams' defensive tackles this year?
I think they're going to be solid. I really love our new O-line coach and the way he's kind of getting those guys going. And, I mean, it's really the fight that they bring to practice every day. Every play, it's a fight. I mean, you're not going to get any plays off with those guys. Like, they're going to if you make a play, you're going to earn it. Like, there's no given plays with those guys. That's why I love them so much.
All right. Thank you for your time this morning, and I hope you're enjoying spring ball. Good luck moving forward.
Thank you. You guys have a good day.
Usually have the first question, but I got you this time. What does Brian Ferentz talk to you about, kind of what he wants you to focus on in your development this spring?
Yeah, so some of my individual goals for spring ball in general is a better understanding of the game. And over the past 2 years, I've gotten a lot of on the field experience, and using that film to study from and seeing how far I've come with all the reps that I've taken in spring ball so far is just a few of the steps that I've taken individually. And he's really pushed me to be a leader in the tight end room as well. So just those two things are what I'm really focusing on this spring.
The next question, Sam, is from Scott Docterman.
Yeah, Sam, you I think led the way last year in targets and catches. What did you see kind of in going back through your performance in the pass catching part of the game that especially some of the ones that you didn't get, that you thought, I needed to do this better. I needed to be in better position, or I need to make this better cut. What all sharp things did you see that you thought, I need to do a better job of this going forward?
Right. Me and Brian have talked about before where you go back and you watch your former self in past games and past practices and things like that. And we always talk about how you want to think about your former self as like, how could I have ever done things that way? Or how could I have ran routes like that? You always want to look back and think, how could I have basically been that bad? But to answer your question, I guess, the game has slowed down for me so much these past couple of months with more reps over and over and over against our defense and going against great athletic guys on our defense and the way that we play our defense, so physical and fast, and getting to look at that film after every practice and just seeing the little steps that I'm taking and growing as a player has really helped me and helped my pass catching game and helped my run blocking and so forth.
Sam, the next question is from Leah Van.
Hi, Sam. So I was looking kind of through the roster and I noticed there's not a ton of guys with like on the field experience at the tight end position. I was wondering what challenges that this position group might be facing and how you're embracing it.
Yeah, I would agree with you that we're pretty young in the position room at the moment. And this spring ball is huge for everybody in the room. This is actually my first spring ball because of COVID last year being canceled and things like that. So being able to see myself grow as an individual and as a player, and then seeing everybody else in the tight end room as well get a lot of reps and grow as players as well is awesome to see. And I have a great appreciation for the older guys that came before me that helped me out, because the guys that are going to help us win games are going to be out there. And I feel like attributing a lot of the past success that I've had to older guys helping me out. And I'm trying to do that with the younger guys in the room too, because I've sort of had that on-field experience, and I'm trying to help those guys along as well.
Sam, the next question is from Grant Becker.
Sam, you talked about the film quite a bit already today, and I remember you mentioning last fall too that you had watched some of your stuff from freshman year and thought, oh no, that's not what I want to see.
Right.
Are there things? I mean, I think we would look at your season last year and say there was a lot of really good stuff there. Are you looking back at that and feeling the same way you felt looking back at your freshman film? And then since you just mentioned some of the former Iowa tight ends who've helped you out too, do you ever go back and look at some of the film from TJ and Noah early on, or George Kittle or any of those guys, and think, hey, I see a mistake here that I've made too, and talk to those guys about that kind of stuff?
Yeah, the developmental program that Iowa is definitely like a slow build sort of process where, like I said, my freshman year, I look back right now and I'm just like, oh my goodness, like how could I have done those things? Then even this past season, I look back and I think of, wow, I've had that look like 3 or 4 times now in spring ball, and I'm not messing that up anymore the way that I messed that up in the season. And getting that experience and getting the reps is what makes the difference in the fall.
Sam, the next question is from Tom Kakert.
Sam, what have you seen from Spencer Petras as a quarterback? Do you see that kind of evolution with him, the learning, the getting better? And what about some of the other quarterbacks like Padilla, Hogan? Do you see growth from them this spring?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, everybody, you can see slowly but surely the development that's going on and the little baby steps that are basically taking place every day in practice and in the film room. Spencer's a great leader on the team, and he's a field general, and I love all the quarterbacks, and I love the way that they deliver the ball to the tight ends especially. And I'm in no position to ever say who's going to be out there on the field. I'm in a lucky position to have the field experience that I've had the last 2 years. And all I know is that at the end of the day, the best guys are going to be out there to help us win football games.
The next question, Sam, from Tom Kakert.
I just asked one. I'm done. That's good.
Come on, Brewer.
Chad, you're on deck, and now you're up to bat. Go ahead.
I see you're listed at 6'4", 249. I know they always have target weights every year. Is that a good size for you? Is that where your target is as well? And I do have a follow-up.
Yeah, that's my target. I've been about the same height and same weight for probably the past year, and that's where I like playing at. I feel fast. I feel strong. I feel physical playing at this weight, and I don't think I'm growing anytime soon. So I think I'm staying about where I am.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, it's very similar to what TJ was. And, I guess, do you embrace the idea of being kind of the number one tight end at quote unquote tight end U? And do you kind of feel like, I guess you could be a real leader for this team this coming fall?
Yeah, I hope so. I've been trying to work on being a vocal leader, but I've always pictured myself as being a guy that goes out there every day and gives his best efforts on the field. And leading by example, I think, is the most important thing on this team. And showing up every day and going to work and being a developmental player every day, step by step, small little baby steps, is going in the right direction. And I think it's awesome that Iowa can be quote unquote tight end U. And I think it's cool to be the number one tight end at the moment. I mean, you never know, things can change like that by the time the season rolls around. So I have to keep working hard. And I'm glad that the younger guys in the room keep pushing me to be a better player and a better leader and a better on the field kind of guy that they can go to and ask questions to. And I think that's all awesome, you know.
Sam, the next question is from Scott Docterman.
Yeah, Sam, I've got kind of a two-parter here. One, you know, you put up some really good numbers in high school as a basketball player. Luke Lachey put up some incredible highlights. What kind of an athlete is he to play alongside, and do you guys ever go one-on-one with each other?
I haven't played Luke yet in basketball. We kind of have a running joke in the tight end room that we call the tight end Olympics. And we haven't gotten around to it yet, but it's like a series of, you know, competitions and things like that, basketball one-on-ones. And Luke's a great athlete, and I'm glad that he's on the Iowa Hawkeyes and he's a tight end for us. And like I said, I try to help him as much as possible, and I learn from him and he learns from me, I hope.
And the second part is, you know, in talking to TJ a few years ago, he was kind of a relentless note taker and always went back and watched different tight ends, especially I think CJ Fedorowicz was one. Do you do the same thing? Do you watch and see how he performed, maybe how Kittle, you know, and other tight ends? There's been a ton of them that have played well here. And what does Brian kind of say about some of the other guys in the past?
Yeah, you know, note taking after every practice and every film session, seeing little details in my game that I can improve upon. And then going back and watching some of those guys in the off season is a real treat for me, because I get to see the little things in their game that I can try out and practice. And in situations like spring ball, you know, there's a lot of practices and there's a lot of on the field work. And I see little details in their game that I try to incorporate into my game and see how it works out for me, you know.
The next question, Sam, is from Mike Kalas.
Hi, Sam. How are you?
Doing well. How about yourself?
Good. Did you know the Epineza family when you were in high school down there? I mean, I realize you were very close to them geographically, but the size of schools were different.
Yeah, I played AJ 2 years in a row, my freshman and sophomore year in varsity basketball, and then a couple of 7-on-7s and 9-on-7s in football. So I knew of AJ pretty well. I didn't know him great as an individual until I came here and really got to know him on a personal level. But yeah, AJ really took me under his wing when I came here, you know, a small town kid and geographically in the same sort of area, Southern Illinois, 618, represent, you know.
That hasn't been a big recruiting area for Iowa, Southern Illinois, but what's the football like down there?
I think it's great football. You know what I mean? I try to get back to my school and watch as many high school games as I can, of course, with our season and bye weeks and things like that. But some of the best athletes that I've ever, you know, gone against, I think it's great athletics. But everybody's going to say that about their area, you know, that we have the best athletes and we have the best football, basketball, whatever, you know. But made me who I am, and I'm here because of that, you know.
Sam, the next question from Leah Van.
Yeah, so I have two questions. And my first is just, how was having an event like Saturday for you as a player? I know that you said this is your first spring. And then I also wanted to know on my second question about the tight end Olympics and what events you plan on having.
Yeah, so, I mean, it was unbelievable to see fans back in Kinnick. And, you know, we've taken for granted a lot of things in the past, like packing 70,000 people into Kinnick Stadium, you know. Like I never got to see a game before I came here, and seeing fans back in Kinnick Stadium again for the first time in however many months, it was an unbelievable thing to see. My family and a bunch of other fans up in the stands rooting us and supporting us and cheering us on, you know. And then your second question about the tight end Olympics, we have a dunk contest. I think we have one-on-one basketball. We have how far you can throw a football, yardage-wise, a few other little things like that. harmless things that shouldn't get us hurt, but sort of a pride thing that you can base our room off of.
Sam, the next question from Tom Kakert.
Sam, I do have another question for you, but this is Iowa markets itself as tight end U. You're the top tight end at tight end U. Is there pressure with that? Is there kind of something you have to live up to as that person?
Yeah, I don't think so. If I'm the next great tight end or whatever to come out of Iowa, that's awesome, but given the chance to play college football anywhere in the nation is just an unbelievable thing. There's so few student athletes that get to play at the college level. And, I just think it's an unbelievable thing to play college sports. And like I said, to go in front of 70,000 people in Kinnick Stadium is an unreal feeling. And to be the number one guy on the depth chart, whatever, like I'm just going to go out and do my best and help us win football games. And there's going to be another tight end a couple of years down the road that probably somebody will say the same thing about me or the former tight ends that came before me, So I'm just the guy in the jersey right now. And our motto is leave the jersey in a better place. So I'm just trying to do that every day.
Sam, we'll take two more questions. And the first one is from Scott Docterman.
Sam, I'm sure your head was swimming 2 years ago when you got thrown in, especially at Northwestern, and trying to learn an offense. You had a senior quarterback who knew the offense inside and out, and you're trying to probably catch up. Last year, it did seem like it got kind of mellowed a little bit or vanillaed the offense. And then this year, do you guys anticipate kind of doing some more changes as far as more personnel groupings, more plays, and how have you adjusted in that 2 years from probably your head swimming to being pretty knowledgeable about where to go and what to do?
Right. I would say that, as you said, like those first couple months when people get here, you're just kind of trying to doggy paddle and stay afloat and taking as much as you can. It's all a bit overwhelming. And that's when you have guys like Nate Stanley, senior leaders that are pushing along these younger guys. And I would say that now that I've had 2 full years in the program, I really feel like I'm flourishing, and I feel like I understand our offense as a whole. I don't know what route I'm running. I know the entire field now, and I know what everybody's supposed to be doing. And little details like that incorporate how fast you can play the game and better decisions that are going to be made on the field, and, an overall better football player, I guess you could say.
The final question this morning, Sam, is from Chad Leistico.
Okay, this first to two here, but just to clarify that there was a long pass over the middle the other day. Did that actually count for a touchdown that you caught and kind of bounced off a couple guys or not? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think they called me down.
They did? Okay.
Period. So they called me down. Yeah.
Okay. It looked like a touchdown to me, but
I thought so too, but
but okay, on that note, you have one career touchdown out of your 42 catches. Is that a source of frustration for you, or how do you up that number?
I mean, I don't know. It's just once you get the ball in your hands, you got to go do something with it. And, everybody's always sniffing out the end zone, and, you want to be on the cool highlight reels and see yourself scoring touchdowns and things like that. But at the end of the day, the job of the offense is to move the ball down the field and punch it in. So if I have 42 career catches or whatever you just quoted me on, I think that's an impressive stat in itself. And hopefully I score some more touchdowns this year per catch or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I'm always trying to get in the end zone, but sometimes it just doesn't work out that way.
And we're here to watch. Thanks for representing 618, Sam.
Thank you so much. 618, represent.